And it kind of felt, really, didn't it, like it was never in doubt?
It was never in doubt before the game. It's Tottenham. When did Tottenham ever win a big game? When did Tottenham ever go somewhere and surprise you and, you know, win against the odds? You know, the odds were massively in favour of Liverpool. They're at home at Anfield. They're the best team in the country, possibly the best team in Europe right now. But it's not just this Spurs team. It's just... They never shock you. They never do something out of the ordinary. I'm trying to think the last big game they won. And I'd probably have to go back to that Ajax game in the semi-final of the Champions League. And I was in the stadium that night. And I don't want to take nothing away from Tottenham. They're very lucky. They got battered for most of the game. And a bit of a freak. I think they got 2 goals in the last minute. But whenever they go into a big game as a football club, no one ever believes they're going to win. And that's not me as a Liverpool fan. Those Tottenham fans there tonight, not one of them will have believed that they'd have gone home and they'd have gone to Wembley.
Isn't it strange that Liverpool put 4 past them? Liverpool are in the final, and there is no doubt amongst the group here that Tottenham are the story.
Yeah, I think because we just expected a bit more from them tonight. I just cannot get my head around not having one shot on target in a semi-final. You know, I know the one half chance when Son manufactures something great step over and then hits the bar, but even then you just felt the game had gone for them. And I just couldn't. I just think when you set the, you know, you come into a semi-final, and I know it's always difficult. You're 1-0 up and you come to Anfield. We all talk about the pressures and the noise and everything that goes around it, but I just felt first half they're trying to play it from the back. The goalkeeper's edgy. In midfield, they never showed any courage to get on the ball and make things happen. They were so abject. And it wasn't the inexperienced players, it was the experienced ones that I was looking at thinking, well, go on then, lead the team. Son's your captain, show something, show some character, get on the ball. Kulusevski, nothing. And I think it's too easy to say, well, yes, they have had injuries. They've absolutely, you know, Van der Ven. I say less about Romero because I think I watch him enough and he can give away a lot of goals when I watch him. But Van der Ven is obviously a big miss. But there's still enough players there to cause Liverpool some problems. I've seen squads beaten Tottenham lately. I look at Ipswich. Do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy would have loved to have had that Tottenham squad beforehand, but they still get beaten by Ipswich? Crystal Palace beat them. There's so many different games. I know you did the Everton game not long ago, Jamie. Everyone seems to find a way of beating this Tottenham side. And I think the manager right now, he baffles me with his tactics sometimes. I think he's completely lost in what he's trying to do. He said, this is what I do. You have to adapt. You have to change. And if you haven't got the personnel that you want, then you have to make sure that your tactics are different. You look at what Newcastle did yesterday. Eddie Howe showed a way of beating an Arsenal side by going man-to-man, being aggressive. Newcastle will not give the respect that what Tottenham gave them today. And I know Newcastle are a better side, but they're more aggressive and they'll get on the front foot. Tottenham showed a miles too much respect today.
Do you think, I don't know, I just think of, you know, teams who've sort of come to Anfield and try and make it difficult. That was so easy, but it just goes back to that stereotype that we all have with Tottenham. And to be honest, over the years, sometimes when I'm analysing Tottenham and, you know, on Sky, and I love the Pochettino team, and I had steel about it, but that probably the best Tottenham team you probably had since the early 80s when they were winning FA Cups and UEFA Cup. And that team still couldn't get over the line. You know, there's definitely a mental block with the club. It's not just this set of players and the manager. It goes back a long time. But even when I was a kid watching football, there was this stereotype, as I said, about Tottenham. And right now, that is a typical Tottenham team. People say, the fans have got Spurs back, or we've got our club back. Yeah, they've got the club back that we all we feel like we've watched for 40 years. That's what they feel like they've got back, where they're basically nice on the eye when things are going well. You never expect them to win anything, don't win a big game, and when they get beat badly.
I can't wait. We've spoken a lot about Virgil, but there is one player that Virgil can have problems with, and that's Alexander Isak.
Particularly on what we saw last night.
Everyone has problems with Isak, but that will be an absolute blockbuster. Those two up against each other. Midfield of Newcastle are incredibly strong. I thought Eddie Howe was magnificent today. You know, there's no way he'd have bought his Newcastle team and they'd have sat off Liverpool if it was the opposite, you know, and they're in that position. So I think it's going to be a perfect final. It's going to be great. Two of the best fan bases in English football. The noise is going to be phenomenal. It's a final we all can't wait to see.
I think when I watch Van Dijk, and I have done now for 7 years or something, he's been at Liverpool. When you think of the Premier League, I think we'd all agree it's probably the best league in the world. And then you've got Champions League football. That's the highest level. I think that's higher than international football, World Cups and Euros. He's too good for the highest level of football. If you know what I mean? It's almost like it's still too easy for him. It almost feels like there should be another level above that for Van Dijk, because he plays the game with such ease that it's like the biggest games coming up. I watch him here against Haaland, And Haaland's the best goal scorer around, a big, powerful lad, got pace, and it's like it doesn't even feel like he's trying.
He plays everything at his pace. It's like
Yeah, but
he plays everything at his pace.
I'm trying to think what level of football is there where he's actually look where he's at. He'd have to like go to ground and make a block or really sprint. I mean, has he sprinted in the game today?
Well, he never does.
He doesn't.
He never, because he puts himself in a position even when there's times where he reads the game. And I think, are you going to lunge? And he never gets dirty. He looks immaculate at the end of it because he cruises through it. He looks where the ball's going to go. His position. He gets people in. He's always talking. Players in front of him. Then when he has it, he just stands on it, as calm. It's a diagonal ball to Salah. He plays it to Robbo. I mean, he just oozes class. Everything about him.
You said before he's the best in the Premier League, and the thing about this, he is the best, but it's not even a debate. This nonsense about like all the other defenders who are great defenders, and I played with a lot of them. He's so far above it. It's a joke. The football is that easy for him watching it. I've never seen a player that at ease. Probably in any position, really, not just at centre-back. It's a walk in the park for them.
You know, they're in a fantastic position. Everything is looking so good for them. Can they capitalise on it? Can they do something unprecedented and win 4 trophies? Personally, I think you're never going to get a better chance. I genuinely mean that. I think they're in such a strong position. I think with teams that they've made, you know, obviously Man City aren't really in the equation this season. The level in the Champions League hasn't been as high. And Liverpool right now, Jamie said it, the best team in Europe, arguably the best team in the world right now. But things can change really quickly. It only takes 1 or 2 injuries to just maybe destabilise that. But right now, they will look at it and it's almost beyond his wildest dreams. When he come here, after following someone like Jurgen Klopp, he was just hoping it would go well. You know, maybe my personally, as a Liverpool fan, thinking, probably take top 4, maybe nick a cup. But for him to do what he's done this season is absolutely phenomenal. And I love the way he talks. He never gets too excited. He says it as it is. He talks a lot of common sense. You can tell he's a student of the game, but he's been magnificent.
We thought they dominated the first half, and yet he's saying he's going into the change room at half-time and saying, look, that isn't intense enough.
Standards, leadership, he's got everything. He's the best for me. The way he conducts himself, the way he does the interview there, the way he performs, and everyone just follows. He is the leader of that pack, and they just waving his arms, dictating on the pitch, and when he speaks, they listen. You can just tell, and he's phenomenal. Honestly, they are. Where would they be if they didn't have him? Since he's come in from Southampton, there has not been a better centre half anywhere in the world, in my opinion.
Virgil, as a team, you were absolutely on it tonight, weren't you? I know you needed that comeback, but it was a comeback and then some.
Yeah, you need a complete performance. I still think at halftime we could get a level up in terms of the intensity and put them even more under pressure, and that's what I've said as well. But you know, to win here like we did tonight is great for the team, for the club, and now we focus on the FA Cup. But obviously, we're very pleased to go to Wembley again.
You say that and talk about intensity, but the intensity was there right from the very off. How much more could you or have wanted to get out of it?
Well, listen, I think you wanted to start obviously with loads of intensity, and I think the game got interrupted a couple of times in the first half, so it ruins a little bit of momentum that was there. But you know, we still did it now and then. But I felt like we could do a little bit more and make it even more uncomfortable for them, because obviously we know that they have the quality to play out, or they want to play through the middle, and they have these patterns and stuff. And if you bring the intensity to the game, then anyone can make mistakes. And I think the second half we did that, and a beautiful win today.
Liverpool obviously had full strength. You yourselves are finding it quite difficult and challenging with the squad that you have to work with at the moment.
Yeah, I guess so. But ultimately, you know, Liverpool fully deserved the victory tonight. They were a far better team. We just weren't able to get a grip in any part of the game, defensively or with the ball. And they were too good for us.
They were relentless, weren't they? And it was just wave after wave of constant pressure.
Yeah, we allowed them to get into the game. We just weren't as aggressive as we needed to be. You know, again, I just think we didn't start the game off on the right footing, allowed them to get comfortable, and once they got comfortable, it was very difficult then for us to wrestle that control back.
To reach a final as well early in the season is something that you're not used to, are you, as a coach, as a manager?
No, in Holland we only have one cup competition, and that final is played in the end of the season. So yeah, that's a new experience, but it's a nice one to have. It's a special stadium for English people, but also for Dutch people, because we know the history of that stadium and the history of a final as well, of a League Cup final. So I'm very pleased to go there, but we also know that we are going to face a very, very tough opponent, because I saw them yesterday and I saw them this season. We already played them once. They're a very good team, but they're going to face a very good team as well.
I spoke to you right at the start of the season, and you were talking about how you wanted, as a team, as a club, to win everything this season. You're already in one final. How achievable is the rest?
Yeah, we are on the right track, you know, but it's we have to take it game by game, step by step. So today, good job done. Yeah, so we are in one final, but we have a lot to play for still, and yeah, we have to stay calm and focused to reach as much as possible.
I know that, but everything just seems to be falling into place for you.
Yeah, we are in a good flow at the moment, but yeah, we have to keep going. So you know how football goes. It's about consistency, and yeah, we have to keep the momentum.